Hi, everybody, and welcome back. You are listening to Toss Today and my special co-host Spatry from Spatry's Cup of Linux. Well, we are trying something experimental where we will be trying to do a weekly news show. Now, we have tried to do these in the past, and when I say we, I mean myself, of course, Spatry and IG, Infinitely Galactic, but that pesky time issue seems to be creeping in. That being said, I am going to try and do these either with Spatry, hopefully every Sunday night, and this is going to be called, not really a Toss Today news, which I have been doing in the past, but officially, at least for now, this is called a Toss Today Tech Brief or a TTTB, if you will. And basically, the format of the show is it's not a TOScast podcast. It's not a Linux 18. It's not a tutorial. It is, as Spatry says, it is what it is, a specific tech news brief on all facets of technology, not just Linux or Windows. Try to keep the show dynamic and changing so none of us gets bored. For tonight, we will basically focus on just three little tidbits of news. And then at the end of the show, Spatry will answer a question that I received that I wasn't sure of, but Spatry will be kind enough to answer. But to get us started, let me
Oh, really?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, really? I'm nice enough to answer it? Yeah, of course I'll do it. Sorry,
More stable.
I didn't mean to throw a wrench into the
No,
machine
it's
there,
it's
especially when you were on such a good roll. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
that's
do that to
okay.
you,
For
but
those of you who are new to the show, we're just like family, and I will kill him tomorrow. No, but
would you like some concrete shoes to go with this
yeah,
episode?
let me call New York if you see what I mean. Okay. Spatry, why don't you take the first quickie news item? Something about Kubuntu, if I recall. Take it away, Spat.
Oh, yes. Kubuntu finds a sponsor. And so, obviously, Kubuntu is going to be living on. It looks like Blue Systems, the maintainers of Netrunner, KDE-based Linux distribution, is going to take over on this, which is welcome because Netrunner is a nice looking operating system. For those of you who've seen my show, I've already done a review on it, and I really like what they did with KDE. It made it look really nice and everything. And so this is welcome for those people who kind of had to sigh when they saw that Ubuntu was dropping support, but appears, with something as popular as Kubuntu is, that somebody would come and
Yes.
pick that up. It is not surprising to see that somebody would step up to the plate. So Blue Systems definitely needs to be commended for doing this.
I would totally agree. Great news for the Kubuntu team. Keep up the great work. Yes, we both took a look at Netrunner. I believe it was sometime last month, Spat. I think we both liked it. I don't use Kubuntu. I prefer to use, Unity, Zorin, and, Linux Mint, but nothing wrong with Kubuntu. It's great for eye candy. Looks terrific, and congratulations to Kubuntu for picking up another sponsor. The next news item, Google apparently is going to be releasing their Google tablet. I don't think they have a name for it. I have a suggestion, the Goo Tab. Okay, fine, maybe not, but it is going to be a 7-inch tablet set for late summer release. The price point, I believe, is going to be comparable to the Kindle Fire, but that's not the best news of all. I believe it's going to have a quad-core processor for about 250 bucks. Spatching, that sounds pretty good. How do you see it?
Act, that is magnificent that we're actually going to be seeing something like this. And something related in the news that we didn't even get a chance to talk about in last night's Zoo Crew episode is the fact
Yes.
that Google Chrome OS is also heading towards Microsoft's market in that
Ah,
they are
yes.
going to be releasing this on uh, on netbooks. And
Cool.
so now we're going to start seeing, this Linux-based distribution appearing on store shelves. But my only concern about this is this going to be an open sourced operating system, or is this going to be closed source like the latest releases of Android? And that leaves kind of a little foggy cloud of doom hanging over my head. Sort of like you saw in the old-fashioned Warner Brothers cartoons and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, I don't know. The official release, the press release is 7-inch ice cream sandwich 4.0, quad core, priced at the right price. We shall see for late summer. Keep an eye on for that. I'm looking forward to it. I don't currently have a tablet, but we shall see. Well, the
Okay.
last news item, yeah, is for all you Dick Tracy fans. You remember Dick Tracy? But anyway,
Of course,
Sony,
I.
there you go. Yeah. Sony is coming out with a phone remote control for your smartphone. I believe they're calling it a smart watch. I guess that took a lot of thinking. I guess the dumb watch didn't work. Well, anyway, smartwatch.
Hey, you
Yo, it's
stupid!
it's the dull watch. Um, Anyway, it is officially, sorry, son, we don't mean to butcher up your fine products. It is officially called the smartwatch, and it's basically as they put it, a remote control, a cool remote control for Android smartphones that has a clock, and I guess you will be able to link to your phone, I'm assuming with Bluetooth, to answer the call or text message, check email, Facebook, and Twitter. It's not a phone itself. It's not one of those products where you buy it at a reduced cost and sign it to your contract. It's not that. It's just, I guess, kind of like an add-on to your cell phone. Personally, I think it's cool. Sony really hasn't had a winner, a key product in a while, and I think there was something on the news where they will be laying off thousands of people. I really like Sony, but they really haven't come out with a zinger of a product. This might put them on the right track. How do you see it, Spatry?
Well, looking at the screenshot of this, it looks like it's got four little icons on it, a battery indicator, and your time, and that sort of thing. And I assume it's going to have, touch to slide, so you can slide through different things to,
Yeah.
get some stuff and that sort of thing without having to pull your phone out of your wallet, or for the ladies, having to pull the phone out of the purse. You have it right there, ready to go. But you know what? This this is probably going to go over like a lead balloon. I think you remember when those calculator watches came out
Yes.
back in the 80s, and then they had the AM FM radio watches. You
Sure.
plug the headphones into those,
Sure.
and when during that area, I had a Pac-Man watch, so I could play Pac-Man on my.
Pac-Man. Okay.
Okay, well, hey, I was a goofy little kid, but what can I say? I just had to have one of those things, and it was one of the
Right.
most ridiculous things to hit the market. Is this going to sink or swim? I really have no idea. I'm sure some people will absolutely love this, but personally, for me, I'd much rather just pull my phone out of my wallet. And I mean, as it is, with the fine, small little screen and that sort of thing that's on it, I gotta, now I have to pull out my reading glasses and all this other stuff. And if I'm gonna pull out my reading glasses, I might as well pull my phone out of my pocket too. So, you
Well,
know,
let me ask you this. What if this was actually a smartphone watch? Would that boost it up on the popularity scale?
well, then you have to put your what? Put your wrist up to your ear.
Sony, I'm sorry. I'm trying, but Spatry is striking me down. Sorry, Sony, you're the weakest link. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm just saying, I
I
mean,
know, I
you
know.
gotta put the phone up to your ear now, or they gotta have a little jack to put a headphone or an earpiece in. I mean, come
Well,
on. I mean, why
Bluetooth
don't
is
they
going to
just have a
solve.
slide out tray that includes a place to put your monocle or something so
Fine,
that
why
you
not
can
a
read?
built-in toaster? Fine. Jeez. Spatry, God, please. It's the new Sony Smart Toaster, only available in New York. Well,
Exactly. Hey, it is a novel idea to have a little miniature, Linux distribution on your wrist, but I mean, yeah,
well,
I think
look.
some people will like it, but would I go out and buy it? Probably not.
Well, look. If a couple, or or someone's birthday, whatever, it needs a watch, and someone was looking to buy the other person something unique as a something different gift, why not this? So, hey, all you couples out there, whatever, you're looking to buy something, someone special, and they just happen to need a watch, give this a try. I mean, I give Sony credit for trying something different, whether this turns
Yeah.
out to be dynamite or just a long forgotten toaster. I really don't know, but
Exactly, but you won't see Rolex putting out any of these, so.
no, no. But hey, at least I give Sony credit for trying something different. I think so.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I did not mean to throw a wrench into your scheme of things. You didn't expect this coming from me, did you?
Spatry, sweetheart, kiss my kernels. All right.
uh,
Well,
no thanks.
yes. Anything else to add?
Okay, well, I added my new snippet on the Google Chrome OS. It's supposed to be a replacement of Windows 8.
Okay.
It's supposed to come out. It's going to come out on the Chromebooks and that sort of thing.
Okay.
But essentially, you know what? I've already looked at a few Google Chromes on my show, and really I wasn't that impressed with them. But
Okay.
they might have something on their hands here. But pretty much all of these require you to have a Google account of some sort to even use the thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And some people are kind of up in the air with the new Google terms of service and that sort of thing. I've read through
Yeah.
them.
I hear you.
Yeah, some people,
Okay.
you know, it is what it is.
I hear you, mate. All right. Well, before we end out the show here, why don't we, like I said, someone had actually sent me a question. And well, let me just read to you what it says. I wasn't really sure how to answer it, and Spatry, I believe, is kind enough to answer this. But anyway, it says this is from who is this from? Live Futures Trading. Ooh, sounds important. Hey there, bud. He says, I'm assuming it's he, never installed Linux, want to install Zorin 5.2 core to check it out. Instead of burning to DVD or memory stick, can the 1 gig download file be saved to a WD 500 gig backup drive and installed or run from there? If so, thanks. And I believe, Spatry, you really had a simple answer, and that is?
It's not practical to do that.
Okay.
Sure, you could use UNetbootin and put it on there and boot from it, but then pretty much what it's going to do is it's going to want to clean out all that data. I mean, we're talking a half a terabyte drive here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you really want it. For the Zorin core, USB sticks are getting really cheap, and I mean a 4
Yes.
gig stick would be perfect. I
Yes.
mean, you can go in these bargain racks in Staples and some of these
Yes.
other stores. They have those little stupid little skateboard shaped USB sticks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That hold 4 gigs of space on there, and I mean they're selling them for what, between $5 and $10. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean that was my first thought. Why
yeah,
really use up the whole freaking, 500 gigs? But yeah,
exactly, because even if you use UNetbootin or Pendrive Linux from Windows, the maximum size it's going to give you for persistence just to try it out, to try out the distribution, is 4 gigs. So
yeah, right.
pretty much, you only need a Volkswagen to take the groceries home, you know, and
I know.
you don't drive a 16
You
wheeler
don't
semi.
you don't need the Starship
For the
Enterprise. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. You don't need a whole fleet of vehicles to take two handfuls of groceries home. So
Right.
pretty much, I'm sorry.
Well, there is your answer, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. Yeah, just stick with the El Cheapo, memory stick USB flash drive, and that'll work out for you fine.
Well,
Don't
I
use
will
up.
say,
Yeah. Yes.
not to interrupt you, but I will say it is to your advantage to make a bootable flash drive, because of the fact that the flash drive is going to perform a lot faster than your CD or DVD drive will. And as a matter of fact, I before we recorded the show, I was telling Total OS today that I've actually installed Ubuntu with a 4 gig persistence on an 8 gig flash drive, and so now I'm able to actually do some shows with Ubuntu, having it actually run on my hardware without having to make any special hard drive partitions or anything like that. And that's how I intend on running Ubuntu, at least until I decide whether or not I'm either A, going to replace Arch and run Ubuntu on my system, uh, Or I've got a secondary computer that I've got built here. I just don't have it plugged up and everything. And I was considering running Arch on that, but I might just keep Arch on my system, put Ubuntu on that one. Who knows what
Cool.
I'm going to do. But in the meantime, I still have that flash drive for running Ubuntu, and I like it. And
Sounds good to me. Yep.
and it's running stable too. I like it. Good stuff.
Yes, it has to be stable. That's my favorite word, stable, all the way. Um,
I thought you
that
like Oracle.
not for me personally, maybe for you, but not for me. But but a boop,
I,
but a beep.
I love you too.
Love you too, Spatch. All right. On that high note, that concludes our very first TTTB, the Toss Today Tech Brief. Thank you for listening, but don't go away yet. Before you leave, just a couple announcements. Well, each one of us have one. We did a Zord. Sorry, Zord. Love you. It was a Zoo Crew, not Zoran show last night. Spatry, you want to briefly sneak him in on some news about that to catch up on that?
Ab- Absolutely. Every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can join the Linux distro community. They've been kind enough to host the Linux Zoo Crew, and we're doing three Zoo Crews a month and one A team. And the instructions will be in the show notes on how to connect to us. I'm sure you have that information. He'll put that in
Yes.
the show notes. So you can just follow the instructions there. Will tell you how you can connect to us on IRC. That's where we receive all the feedback from everybody who is not participating in the voice chat. And then, of course, if you want to listen live as the show is being recorded, you'll need to install Mumble. And who knows, if you pop in at the right time, you might actually be invited to join us on the show and participate in the live discussion, be a part of the show.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, so it's definitely something it's a great way to interact and be a part of the community.
Thank you, Spatry. And also, the next Linux A team, we are going to be, it's scheduled for tomorrow evening to be recorded. And some of you have been asking, yo, where's IG? Where is Infinitely Galactic? Well, he's still in Australia, where he lives. He's busy with life and college life, school and stuff. But we are all scheduled, all three of us, to be on tomorrow night, maybe some other guests. It'll be almost my 1 year TOScast podcast anniversary with IG. Officially, it would be at the end of May, but it's so hard to get all of our schedules together. So it'll be like an early anniversary special, and I'm very happy to have Spatry on and maybe somebody else. We'll just talk about the history of our shows and how I got started and how Spatry got started, more or less random topics, and we'll see how it goes. Just kind of a free flowing discussion, nothing really particular. The next specific topic show we hopefully will be on Ubuntu 12.04 with Alan Pope, the Ubuntu developer from Canonical.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Spatry. Thank you to all of you who take the time out to listen to these shows. We enjoy doing them. Don't forget to support these channels in any way that you can. Tell your friends, friends, neighbors, accountants, and so on and so forth. Tell your dogs, your cats, the zoo. But
And don't forget to hand out hand out your favorite Linux distributions at all occasions, parties, celebrations, that sort of thing. They make wonderful gifts at birthdays, bar
yeah,
mitzvahs. Yeah, I mean, there's
absolutely.
nothing.
Why
I
not?
can't think of a better gift to give to somebody on their birthday than a nice new shiny Linux DVD.
Hey, you know what? You never know if that person is into technology. It's not that far-fetched, but just a little bit of caution, just a little bit of caution. Make sure you have something else to go with that for your honey, okay?
Oh no! I mean, you give the wife a Linux CD with that brand new vacuum cleaner, and
You just reminded me of the old joke, and I may have to cut this out, but here it is, folks. Yeah, I bought for Christmas, for my wife's birthday. I bought my wife this beautiful broom, and she had the look on her face. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot the dustpan. Wait till Christmas, baby. So Christmas
Oh, I love it.
comes, I buy the dustpan. I'm like,
Oh, that,
um,
that reminds me, that reminds me of one. There was this one Christmas video that was a play on, the Christmas Carol where, the ghost of Christmas past takes
yeah,
this
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
yeah, and and his dad gives him 10 pounds of beef for Christmas.
Was he hungry?
Yeah, he gets a little 5-year-old 10 pounds of beef, and the kid's crying and everything, and the old
Uh,
man's going, "Well, when I was a kid, nobody ever gave me 10 pounds of beef."
I guess that gives new meaning
Um,
to the commercial. Where's the beef? Right? Remember that?
uh, I,
Yeah.
yeah, and I hope you don't cut this part out, but maybe we need to consider uh, changing the title of the show from Meet the Press to Press the Meat.
Folks, this is what goes on behind the scenes if I can see. This is the stuff I have to put up with Spatry and the rest of the host. It's completely ridiculous. Not that I'm any better.
Actually do that one a lot better when you're doing your Arnold Schwarzenegger
All
voice,
right,
though.
all right. Let's end the show on this note. Hello, this is Governor Schwarzenegger, and I want to thank everybody to not meet me on Meet the Press, but press the meat. Thank you. Goodbye.